meant.
Well, to shed more light, ladies and gentlemen, on the tripartite summit gathering Egypt, Jordan and Palestine today in the New Alamein city, we have the pleasure to have this phono to shed more light on this issue. This phono with His Excellency Ambassador Hassan Haridi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon to you, madam.
Well, Your Excellency Ambassador Haridi, the three leaders today discusses the latest developments in the Palestinian cause. So how would this help to coordinate and unify the efforts and the one stance to rally the international support or to be able to support, support Palestine to put an end to the suffering of the Palestinian people?
Well, in fact, this summit in Egypt that brings together Egypt's President Sisi with the monarch of Jordan and the president of the chairman of the Palestinian Authority is a timely meeting between among them in the midst of certain developments in the region and in the occupied Palestinian territories, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Definitely, this meeting, the summit, is important as far as the Palestinian question is concerned. On the one hand, it sends a message of support to Chairman Abbas, and secondly, it shows the determination of the three parties of the efforts of resuming peace negotiations between the Palestinian Authority and Israeli government. However, this objective seems a little bit difficult under the present circumstances. But definitely, the summit today sends a strong message of support. And it's a message to the international community that regardless of what the present Israeli government practices on the ground in the West Bank, the three parties are supportive of the Palestinian cause and all the efforts that aim at the resumption of peace talks in order to carry out the two-state solution. Having said that, of course, we understand that the international situation may be a little bit of challenging, but this political will on the part of Egypt, Jordan, and the Palestinian Authority would go a long way of meeting the challenges presented by the present Israeli government. On the other hand, the summit takes place after the meeting of the Secretary General of the Palestinian factions that was held in Egypt a couple of weeks ago with the aim of unifying the Palestinian organizations. And we are still waiting for the establishment of the follow-up committee that was agreed upon during this meeting of the Secretary General in order to facilitate and to hasten the implementation of various agreements that aim at unifying the Palestinian factions.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Haridi, how do you weigh Egypt's constant and continuous support to the Palestinian cause and the Palestinian people, also acting as the role played by Egypt, always acting as a peace broker to negotiate its role in negotiations between Palestinian side and Israeli side to provide truce in several events that, or in several actions that took place, like the truce that Egypt negotiated 2 years ago in Gaza, and also when the Israeli side shot Jenin. So give us your insight concerning how do you weigh Egypt's role and stance?
Of course, the Palestinian question is a question of Egyptian national security. Palestine sits along our eastern borders. We are two neighboring countries. And ever since the establishment of Israel in 1948, we have always lent support to the rights of the Palestinians according to the United Nations Charter and according to the various resolutions that have been passed either in the Security Council or in the General Assembly of the United Nations. So, of course, you have made reference, dear Madam, to our efforts at de-escalation among the Palestinians and the Israelis. And this comes within the historic role of Egypt as far as the Palestinian question is concerned.
Yes.
We have, of course, we capitalize on the peace treaty that we had signed with Israel in 1979 in order to help the Palestinians deal with the various Israeli attacks against the Palestinian people and against the Palestinian infrastructure.
Yes. So, Your Excellency Ambassador Hariri, this is concerning Egypt acting as a negotiator and acting in the political side. But Egypt, how do you evaluate Egypt's role as a supporter, as Egypt is always providing Palestine with humanitarian aid, and we see long lines and queues of huge cars carrying supplies and commodities, also medical supplies to the Palestinians passing through the border from Rafah?
Well, this is the least we can do, Madam. We cannot stay silent when we follow the suffering of the Palestinian people, particularly in the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip has been under Israeli siege from 2007. And this siege, by the way, is unheard of, is unprecedented. No country has laid siege to 2.5 million people for such a long time. So Egypt cannot stand still. And when I say Egypt, not only the Egyptian government, but the Egyptian people. So we stand ready, always ready to help the Palestinians meet the attacks, the aggressions of the Israeli army against them. We have followed for the last 5 months how the Israeli soldiers kill every day, a Palestinian, an innocent Palestinian in the West Bank. According to the latest statistics, from January 1st till last week, the Israeli forces have killed 156 Palestinians in the occupied territories. So Egypt cannot stay put in face of such inhumane and inhumane. I'm looking for the word to describe what the Israeli government of today is practicing in the West Bank. Let alone the human cost, the humanitarian cost that the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip are paying every day because of the Israeli siege.
Yes, Your Excellency, Ambassador Haridi, we are going for a short break and we are going to continue with you our discussion after we call for, there's a call for the afternoon prayers.